And we are back, but we are going over to beautiful New York. Right now, we have with us a author, a director, an actor, a filmmaker, and this is just a few. This doctor is a strong man of God who focuses on writing at the moment, and he is the author of Dangerous Theater. He's a visiting professor as well in drama at Vassar College and currently an adjunct associate professor at the City University of New York. I am honored to say we are here with Dr. George Kazacoff. How are you doing today, George? Welcome to the Lady Tracy Show.
I'm doing just fine.
I am excited to hear from you and to finally match the face with the name. Can you tell us a little bit about who George is?
Well, I'm an author and a professor at the moment. I'm retired.
Okay.
But I have been a filmmaker, a playwright.
Wow.
Earlier in my career, I was an actor.
Wow.
A director and a playwright and a filmmaker.
That is beautiful. Now, how did one person fit into so many hats?
Well, you do them at the same time. It's not as if you do one for 4 years and then another. For instance, when I was playwriting, I was also teaching. So it's a combination of things together.
Wow. And I believe you have a lot of knowledge to share with us, George, because this is an interesting field that not everyone has the wisdom to fit in. How was your journey as a playwright and, of course, as an actor at once?
Well, I think I was always an actor since I was a child. I set up a theater in my backyard of my home for neighborhood kids to come and see the theater. So I was a producer from way back.
From way back, you have added this skill. And I love the fact that you were first working with children. I think this is beautiful, George. It's always good to add our kids to the, to the fun list. Okay, so now, George, I noticed that you also taught in the University of New York. Is that correct?
Yes, I taught playwriting.
Okay, and how was that journey as a teacher for you?
Oh, it was beautiful. I love teaching.
Wow. Would you say that because of your teaching, it gave you the knowledge to become an author?
Yes.
Wow. Now let's get to your book, Dangerous Theater. What is this book about?
This book is about the Federal Theater Project that existed during the 1930s. It was a branch of the Works Progress Administration, WPA, and Hallie Flanagan was the director of it. She was a professor at Vassar College, but was asked by Harry Hopkins, who was the director of the WPA, to head this dynamic new project.
Wow. And how can this book benefit to our readers today, George?
I think for one thing, can benefit them to realize that a lot of things are possible if you stick to it.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That is lovely. And what's the cost for this book, George, Dangerous Theater, and where can we get this book to buy?
You can get the book at Page Turner Press and Media. That's the place where you can get the book. And the price of the book is $23 for the hard copy rather, excuse me. And it's less than that for the paperback.
Okay, beautiful. Now you mentioned that you are retired, George, but is there anything next after this for you, whether as an author or an educator? Is there anything that we should expect from Dr. George Kazakoff?
I'm working on a few projects right now, but they're evolving and I hope eventually will crystallize.
Beautiful. Okay, now, Mr. George, I want you to give one advice to our listeners today. Possibly they're in the writing field, or they're just a student, or they're thinking about even acting or film. What one advice could you give to these guys today that are listening?
Stick to it.
Okay.
You can't just do it in a few months. You have to stick to it.
All right. Okay, beautiful. Stick to it. And I am taking that advice for myself too. Now, George, before we go, I want you to acknowledge a few persons who have been with you on this journey.
Well, there's Paul Anthony, Mark Alvarez,
Mhm.
Adrian, Adrian Cooper.
Okay. All right. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And if he did not mention you, it's because he probably have too much on the list. He did not forget you. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kazakoff. It was a pleasure having you with us, and we are honored to hear about your work, Dangerous Theater. Stick around with us and continue to let us know what's next, because we will always want to hear more about you. Thank you for being with us on Unity Live Radio.
Thank you.